Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is a sci-fi movie review and I'll be having a look at Time Runners, which is also known as 95ers Echoes. Now this is a really hard movie to try and tell you what it's about, but it's a very, very dense film in regards to its kind of plot. Obviously it involves time travel. To give you a very kind of brief plot synopsis, there's a character called Sally Biggs, who is an FBI agent who is played by Alessandra Durham. And she's probably the best actor in this movie, first of all. The acting is pretty horrible in this movie, but apart from the main character. And she can essentially rewind time for a few seconds. And it's kind of a natural ability. Because of this, she's become this kind of like top FBI agent, because she's able to kind of rewind and maybe able to kind of work stuff out for essentially sort of trial and error. And she's kind of involved in this plot where, you know, time paradoxes that has been caused are ultimately going to cause some kind of event in the future, which is obviously very bad. There's these kind of futuristic people that are sort of trying to stop her, and she has, I guess, the central thing is the relationship with her husband, who she believes has been killed, but we do see him throughout the film through various different flashbacks and things like that. And he himself is a kind of independent scientist who's working on time travel. It's a hard film to explain, let me tell you. So the positives of this film, this film is a clever movie, and it's a film where you can't really just sort of sit and watch and not really pay too much attention, because it's such a dense movie. It's obviously quite an intellectual movie, and quite a lot of thought has gone into it. But unfortunately, what you actually see on screen, I don't think is is as good as it could have been. Now, part of this is the fact that this is obviously a very, very low budget movie, and it can't quite reach its potential. Now, partly that is the directing of this film. I just don't think it can kind of push through these ideas on screen that it's actually kind of, I guess, a script is sort of trying to produce. The acting, as I've mentioned, the main character, Sally, is pretty good. She's quite a good actress, but the rest of the cast are quite horrible, unfortunately, and have really sort of wooden acting abilities, unfortunately. So it kind of, again, you kind of, it almost seems like a play, like a kind of an amateurish play that you're kind of watching. It's that sort of acting. The other thing I would kind of mention as well, and this is not a criticism as such, is that, again, the budget means that when it does use special effects, they kind of look very, very cheap. And I guess this is a criticism. You have this kind of concurrent plot line where we have these sort of almost like futuristic time cop sort of agents that are kind of in the future that are sort of trying to go back. And then you spend a lot of time with them, but they actually amount to very little of the actual plot. And apart from there's kind of a scene sort of towards the end of the movie where they can sort of become relevant, but the whole rest of the movie, they're kind of trying to intersect the timeline or something, and they never seem to do it. And so until you get right to the end of the movie, they're completely irrelevant to the actual plot, and it's so cheesy and kind of crappy looking that it kind of detracts from the actual movie. The plot proper, as I say, it's a very, very dense plot. It's a little bit, again, because of the directing, it makes it seem a little bit sort of incoherent, and you're sort of jumping back and forth between sort of different timelines and stuff like that. So, you know, like I said, it can be a little bit of a confusing film to watch. It's obviously very well thought out. As far as I know, it was meant to be a kind of multi-platform type of media event, like, you know, have to do with sort of other formats, comics or what have you. But as it stands, it's just this. It's okay. It's got some pretty good reviews, but that's really, I think, the plot and the sort of the script. But as a film piece of entertainment, I personally feel it has some flaws. So it's a good attempt, but in execution, I think there are some glaring issues with it. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. If you like time travel movies, not films that have kind of got a little bit of thought behind them, you'll get a kick out of this. But it does lack a severe amount of polish. So 6.5. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment. I will look forward to you next time. Bye for now.